Imagine this. It's freezing cold inside a giant ice rink. Your toes are numb. Your breath looks like fog. And beneath your skates, the ice is rough, bumpy, and covered in deep scratches. Skaters wobble. Pucks bounce strangely. Referees blow whistles as players trip over ruts in the ice. Now, imagine this. Instead of waiting an hour for workers to shovel, scrape, hose, and refreeze the ice by hand, a strange rumbling machine rolls out from the tunnel. It shaves the ice smooth, scoops up the snow, washes the surface clean, and lays down a fresh, glassy layer of water. In just 10 minutes, the rink is perfect again. That machine would change sports forever. Believe it or not. Welcome to Believe It or Not, the show where weird is real and the truth is stranger than fiction. I'm your host, Brian, and today's story is about frustration, frozen fingers, and one man who decided there had to be a better way. This is the unbelievable true story of Frank Zamboni and how one invention changed ice skating, hockey, and arenas around the world forever. Picture this. It's the 1930s in Southern California. Yes, California, a place known for sunshine, beaches, and palm trees. Not ice rinks. But they were known for the Iceland Rink, one of the world's largest indoor ice rinks, located right in Los Angeles. It was huge, it was popular, and it was a problem. You see, after every skating session, the ice was totally destroyed. Before the Zamboni, resurfacing the ice looked like this. Teams of workers shoveled piles of icy snow by hand. Others scraped down deep grooves with heavy tools. Someone sprayed water across the rink. And everyone waited. And waited. And waited for it to freeze. The whole process took more than an hour. During the time, crowds fidgeted. Skaters' toes went numb. Games were delayed, and some people even left early. Frank watched this slow, exhausting routine day after day. And finally he thought, why are we doing this the hard way? You see, Frank Zamboni, he was an inventor at heart. He loved machines, engines, and figuring out how things worked. He also loved ice skating. So Frank imagined one single machine that could shave the ice, collect the snow, clean the surface, and lay down fresh water all at once. So he started experimenting. Now, at first, he failed. He rebuilt. And then he failed again. See, he used parts from tractors, trucks, and farm equipment, anything that he could get his hands on. His neighbors, they thought he was crazy. And some ice rink owners told him it would never work. But Frank didn't listen. He just kept going. Year after year. And finally, after nearly 10 years of trial and error, in 1949, he finally unveiled his invention. The machine rolled onto the ice. The blade shaved away the damage. The snow disappeared inside, and a smooth layer of water flowed out behind it. After the Zamboni, resurfacing the ice took 10 minutes instead of 60. It produced perfectly smooth ice. It meant that games could be played faster, that skaters were happier, and that everyone was much safer. At first, some hockey teams laughed. The machine was loud, it looked strange, and no one knew what to call it. Then came the turning point. In the early 1950s, the machine was used at major professional games and even the Olympics. Suddenly, teams weren't laughing. They were lining up to buy one. By the time Frank Zamboni passed away in 1988, his invention had become so popular and so famous that people stopped calling it an ice resurfacer. They simply called it a Zamboni. And today, nearly every ice rink in the world uses one. Believe it or not. Now, here are some believe it or not facts I found while researching the podcast. Frank Zamboni was a prolific inventor who held more than 200 patents, but his ice resurfacing machine was the one that made him famous. A modern Zamboni resurfaces a rink using less water than a household bathtub, and it recycles the snow into new ice. Before the Zamboni, arenas could lose hours of game time per day. After it, games stayed on schedule, and ice rinks became far more profitable. Today, there are over 10,000 Zamboni machines operating in more than 70 countries. And Zambonis have become so iconic that they've appeared in movies, cartoons, video games, and even have their own fan clubs. Believe it or not. So what did we learn today? Frank Zamboni didn't try to invent something famous. He just refused to accept a frustrating problem. By imagining a better after, instead of settling for the messy before, he changed sports history and made the world a little smoother. So here's something to ponder. What everyday problem around you feels annoying, but could become your big idea? Today we learned how one inventor, one ice rink, and one clever machine transformed skating forever and gave us the Zamboni. Now before we go, here's a joke to send us sliding out. How do Eskimos make their beds? With sheets of ice and blankets of snow. Brr. Next time on Believe It or Not, get ready for one of the wildest survival stories ever told. The unbelievable true story of Michael Packard, the man who was swallowed by a whale and lived to tell the tale. Before you go, don't forget to follow or subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. It really helps more curious kids discover the show. Until then, keep wondering, keep learning, and remember, sometimes the truth is weirder than fiction.